Decorum in the courtroom matters. How a defendant presents themselves in front of the judge, in front of the jury, their demeanor, their facial expression, and of course the words that they say. All of that matters in the outcome of a trial. I mean, there is a whole science to it. Literally, there is a science. There are people whose job it is to coach these people and say, don't make this face, don't say these words, don't do this, don't do that. But unfortunately, a lot of the people that have gone in front of judges after participating in the Capitol riot, they didn't get that memo. They didn't have people coaching them on how to act in court. And for some of them, including one of them this week, that has come back to bite them. According to a report from Politico's Kyle Cheney, a convicted Capitol rioter got into a shouting match with the judge this week. And then after the shouting match ended, the judge handed down an exceptionally harsh sentence to the Capitol rioter. Now, to be fair, this guy was convicted over the summer for a lot of things. Here is the rap sheet. He was convicted of multiple felony and misdemeanor offenses, including civil disorder, assaulting, resisting, or impeding certain officers, entering and remaining in a restricted building or grounds with a deadly or dangerous weapon, disorderly and disruptive conduct in a restricted building or grounds with a deadly or dangerous weapon, and engaging in physical violence in a restricted building or grounds with a deadly or dangerous weapon. So, a lot of charges that he was convicted of. And yes, he had a weapon. The weapon in this instance happened to be a baton. And the judge, before he was giving the sentence, was kind of going through all of this with the defendant. And he was like, listen, you say that you didn't intentionally target the police. However, you were waving that baton around at them, like you were swinging at them, the judge explained. The judge then got into it and said, you also have shown no remorse for what you did. And it was at that point that the defendant got angry. So the defendant started shouting at the judge is shouting back, according to Kyle Cheney, for, a few moments. And finally, the judge warned him that you are, quote, digging more of a hole for yourself. And it was at that point that the judge kind of shut down all the conversation and said, all right, here we go. 5 years in jail. Bye-bye. 5 years, even with these charges, by the way. 5 years is one of the harshest sentences we have seen for these convicted Capitol rioters, even when you take into account that they were convicted of assaulting a police officer. That's a long time. And there is a chance that that sentence may not have been as harsh had this individual shown a little bit of respect, shown maybe an iota of remorse for what they did. But because they didn't, see you in 5 years, guy. Unless, of course, Donald Trump pardons you next month, but, we'll wait and see what happens. Trump has said he's going to do it, but he's also said we're going to do it on a case-by-case basis. Maybe not the people who assaulted police officers, because, you don't want to piss off the cops who overwhelmingly support Republicans, so we'll see. Maybe this guy serves the full term. Maybe he gets a pardon before he ever reports to prison. That remains to be seen. But there is another wrinkle to this. As I said, the 5-year sentence is pretty harsh. I think it's deserved based on the charges, but it's still technically not even as harsh as prosecutors wanted. Prosecutors were asking for more than 5 years. So even though the judge gave a harsh sentence, it's not as harsh as what was requested, so the judge technically did go easy on the guy. And if you have a judge that was already willing to show you a little bit of leniency, then yes, I do believe that your shouting match with this judge made things worse for yourself. But you only have yourself to blame for this. Again, maybe Trump pardoned you, maybe he doesn't. But either way, the sentence is what it is, and you probably could have made it a little bit lighter if you'd have been a decent human being for just half a second. Thanks for watching today, everybody. And don't forget, if you're not already, please do subscribe to this channel. We have fresh content going up every single day, and I would really hate for you to miss out on that. And speaking of missing out, if you're not following me across all other social media outlets, then get on it. You can follow the links in the description of this video.